Charlie.
Hi.
Global head of trading in the payments department. So how did you get started in StoneX?
So I've actually been at the firm for 17 and a half years. Long time. When I started, the office was probably, I want to say like triple the size of this room that we're in.
Okay.
And that wasn't just payments. That was everything that we traded, including the operational function, any sort of function out of London. I mean, it's a bit sad, really. I just always wanted to get into finance. It was kind of all that I knew. It's what my dad did. It's what a lot of my family, the men in my family did. And so I just always wanted to go into finance. And very luckily, when I left university, found this wonderful company at the time called INTL Global Currencies, now StoneX. As soon as I joined, I thought, this is diverse, this is going to keep me on my toes, and this is where I want to stay.
There's been challenges for a lot of women who want to go into finance, whether it's the stereotypes, whether it's perceived gender roles. What about the StoneX environment made it so safe and inclusive for you that you're here now for 17 years?
I mean, I don't want to speak too admirably about Philip Smith, but obviously, you know, he sets the culture. He's always been someone for me that I knew that I could grow with professionally. He was always very supportive of my career path and how I wanted to advance through the company. Obviously, not just him, but that trickles down from the top. If the person steering the ship has that sort of mentality, everyone falls into place. The company itself, we've always prided ourselves on being an entrepreneurial company. Everyone's invited to give their ideas, irrespective of who you are. Doesn't matter how long you've been at the company, everyone's invited to give their input willingly and in a safe space. And it's always been that way. I've never known it any other way.
Being in environments that I've been in, like, the leaders set the tone, and if they are exhibiting those values, everything else kind of trickles down. Everyone kind of falls in place. That's where, you know, the employees enjoy themselves and, you know, the company can flourish. But as you said, you've been here for 17 and a half years. That's right, long time. So how has the world of trading and payments changed during that time?
Oh, it's changed. I mean, particularly the markets that we trade in. We do 140 plus currencies. And the markets that I'm particularly drawn to, which were typically called emerging market currencies, they're now kind of more frontier as well as emerging market, and then obviously the developed markets as well. But what's so interesting about those markets is that they're so nuanced. For me, I knew it wasn't just a case of looking at a screen, seeing a price tick up and down like you would with, say, like euro, dollar or cable or dollar yen. A lot of these markets you need to have onshore relationships with to establish where they are. Some of them are still like that. Fortuitously, for like the markets themselves, there have been significant advancements for a lot of them over the period of time that I've been working in them. So I have seen a big shift in that respect, but you still do have the frontier markets where you need to be speaking to them on the phone to know exactly where their market's trading. There were some cases where, you know, we were sending faxes to get pricing when I first joined. Obviously that's, you know, we've got WhatsApp these days, or, you know, emails. We've transcended from like sending faxes to sending emails, and we're still living in that world. But equally, there are some markets now where, you know, they're making real-time payments when 17 years ago, we were making them with a 2-day to 4-day value. So it's amazing the difference that we've seen just with technology.
Tell me, why is it that some parts of the world struggle to send and receive money in comparison to other parts of the world?
Really, it's the rails, the infrastructure they've built their financial system around. It's having access to those rails. Arguably, you can send dollars anywhere in the world. That's obviously the world currency, whether we agree with that or not. The US dollar is the world currency. So you can send US dollars anywhere. What you can't guarantee is what you're going to see at the end of that life cycle and when you're going to see that money come into fruition in the local currency itself. So you can send dollars anywhere in the world. Accessing local currency requires in some markets the ability to leverage the rails that are there, and infrastructurally they're just not available to everyone. So you need to be going speaking to the local banks onshore, establishing who that you can link with. A big part of our business is meeting with people face to face, partnering with tier 1 banks locally, ensuring that their infrastructure marries with ours. We have been known to make investments in the infrastructures onshore in order to help the payment rails so that we can service our clients to the level that we need them to be serviced at. So it's really putting in that time, effort and dedication. It sounds cheesy, but we love the payments world. Our job is made so much easier if we can guarantee timelines, and that is absolutely what we can do. The transparency now compared to what it was when I came into the role and into the business is totally different. And I'd like to think that particularly in the markets that we trade in, we spearheaded a lot of that transparency. Before transparency was a buzzword, we were transparency. That's why the business came into being in the first place, essentially, so that we could be showing exactly where these markets were trading and passing those rates to the clients.
I've always got their opinion or viewpoint or my understanding of StoneX through interacting with people like Philip and the rest is that, yes, obviously this is a commercial business, but you want to make a difference. You want to have positive impact. What ways have you seen and experienced within the payments world? Have you seen that positive impact in real life?
And unfortunately, the positive usually comes from the negative. If there's been an earthquake in Haiti, as an example, we're able to get money to Haiti. Any of the NGOs that have worked with us, for 15 plus years know that they can come to us, know that we have got correspondence there, know that as long as electronically there are systems still live, we can get money there for them. So usually it's in times of crisis where we are able to step up, and we have that confidence from the client base because we've been able to demonstrate it time and time again through these awful things that happen, typically climate related, with regards to earthquakes, etc., that we can get funds to projects that are helping people.
Crises are a fact of life. It's not about whether they will happen or not, is about when.
Yeah.
and the magnitude. So the fact that StoneX can provide a service that helps alleviate at least some of the pain, I think it's worth being proud of in my viewpoint. You've been here for 17 years. You would have experienced market crashes.
Yep.
You experienced economic booms and recessions. Be honest, what's the craziest trade you've ever done?
I mean, this is going to be 15 years ago. There was hyperinflation in Zimbabwe, and we were one of the only houses that could get money to Zimbabwe successfully. We were dealing in quintillions
of Zimbabwe dollars.
Correct. So $1 to 1 quintillion Zim dollars. So that was pretty mad. Even trying to book that in the system wasn't built, the booking system wasn't built for taking that many zeros. So we had to start crossing it with I think we started crossing it with the yen just to get the trade in. That was a pretty crazy time.
Well, let's hope there's no more quintillion dollar trades for any
I didn't
currency.
even know that number, I'll be honest with you.
How does one keep a cool head and know the right trades to make at the right time?
It sounds like a simplistic answer, but the answer is experience. I've been doing this for 17 years. I've been on the trading desk for 17 years. I've been head of trading for a decade. I mean, the experienced traders have all been here a decade plus. I'm not a unique case that I've worked here for this period of time. I work with a significant number of people that have worked here longer than me. Our whole kind of USP is, as much as possible, staying ahead and trying to anticipate when these things are going to happen. We have strategies, and as and when they happen, because we've lived through, several really big situations that have hit the market, we're almost kind of naturally poised to know where we need to be in terms of taking on risk, knowing exactly what markets are going to be affected as well, because obviously these things can happen, but in a lot of the frontier and emerging market space, they're quite insulated from some of these bigger macro events. So yeah, it's experience really. It's not a very complicated answer, I'm sorry, but...
Well, long live experience.
Yeah, long live Charlie at StoneX.
Yeah, long live Charlie at StoneX. You're rising to the top. Imagine where you're going to be in another 17 and a half years.
Just on the desk. That's the only place I want to be.
Amazing. Charlie, Global Head of Trading, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.